Hey everybody, short video today. I am going to be reviewing the new Holley Bluetooth module that can connect a iOS or Android device to your Terminator X or Sniper 2. So I received it in the mail the other day and so like I said, this is going to be the review on this Bluetooth module, part number 558-483. So I got it in the mail the other day, and it's already in the car over there. I installed it, and I have been tinkering with this thing for the past couple days, and I felt like I decided I needed to do a review on it because there's not that many reviews on them, and just wanted to give my input on them, whether you feel like you want to buy it and you're just kind of struggling with the cost, or you're not sure, or you're not really tech savvy. So basically, this is my personal take on it, how I feel compared to how I've been tuning my car with a laptop versus a tablet or an iPhone. So here I have three things set up. So this is a Samsung tablet, and don't know which model it is exactly. My laptop that I primarily use for tuning in here in the garage, and my Microsoft Surface tablet that I use basically on the road whenever I'm tuning. So right off the bat, with these two products, you will need the Holley cable, which is right here. And you need this to connect to your ECU to do your tuning. So I've been dealing with this forever. My 3.5-inch display, I ended up giving it to a family member because they bought an ECU without one and they needed it to get going and just a tuning wizard and all that stuff. So I kind of gave it to them, and I had upgraded to the Holley 7-inch display anyways, so I didn't need it. But I'd kind of lost that feature, which I missed, the wizard. But anyways, I had learned that this Bluetooth has its own wizard. So I bought it because, I don't know, I guess I like gadgets. Anyways, I just wanted to see what it was all about and how well it did and all that stuff. So I'll dive right into that. We'll start with that first, and then I'll compare it to how laptop tuning is slightly different. So I'm not connected to the car right now, and I'm actually going to shut off this light in the back so we don't have a glare. There we go. So like I said, these connect to Samsung, Android, whatever. Now, right now it's in demo mode. It's not actually connected to my car, so this isn't my tune. But I wanted to show you and go through some of the features of it and how it can make life easier. But in my personal opinion, I find it's not particularly worth the money. If you're upgrading from a 3.5-inch display, great. If not, well, I don't think there's much point. So right off the bat, you have a monitor. This is kind of cool. When your car is running, you can, you have all these different pages. You have idle, you have learn, and you can monitor all that stuff. It's good for that. So if you're planning on like sticking a tablet in your car permanently and you just want to have gauges, it's a cheap alternative compared to a 7-inch display, which is like $700+. Then you can go into, hang on, here, where you actually have a dash. Now, all these gauges are configurable, which I thought was really cool. The only thing I don't like about it is I live in Canada and Holley hasn't released a setting to change the GPS speed to kilometers per hour. It's neat because this whole system, if you're using your iPhone, not 100% sure how well it would work with a tablet because obviously most tablets don't have data plans. But if you're using an iPhone or your Samsung telephone, this GPS speed works off your phone. So you don't actually have to go out and buy a GPS module like you would have with like a digital dash or anything like that. So that's kind of a neat feature. Just kind of sucks that you can't really change it. You can't change it to different speeds or whatever. It's stuck in miles an hour. So that's kind of cool, but moving along. From there, you have logging, which is cool. You can basically, you have timers. You can turn your logging off, activate triggers, or just hit go and do it there. That's great. Kind of cool for that. And then you have wizards. So you can go down here. You have your Terminator X wizard, which is basically you can do the exact same thing that you could have done with your 3.5-inch display. You can build a tune off of whatever Holley has to offer. So if you're starting out from scratch and you don't have a 3.5-inch display and you buy this will get you going, because the 3.5-inch display I think is like $300 and plus some dollars, and the Bluetooth module is only like $225. So if you just buy the ECU, the harness, and the Bluetooth module, you'll probably come out a little bit cheaper. You have your TPS auto set here and your ECU time that you can modify. It's all pretty basic stuff. Now, the thing I don't like about this is that the tunability is not really there. So my car is already pretty much tuned. I just, do little things here and there. But if you're starting out and this is what you're using, you are gonna fight a lot. So right off the bat, let's say you threw a tune in, you used your wizard, you threw a tune in, you got your car, truck, running, project, whatever, and now it's time to do some modification. Okay, so this is a feature I really like about this. You go into fuel, and then up here you have base and learn. So here's your base fuel table, which you can go in, you can look at, and you can edit the table. And here's the table. It's really hard to zoom in. Even on my iPhone, I have a hard time just getting to zoom in and zoom out. But anyways, there's your table. It's there just like on the laptop. The cool thing about this is if you're driving and you want to apply your learn table to your base, there is literally a button where you hit apply, and then it automatically smooths it out for you. So this sends it to your base table, smooths it out, go back, reset your learn table, and that's it. Something that takes 10 minutes on a laptop where I got to plug my laptop in, get the information from the ECU, go in my learn table, transfer it to my base table, sync it back to the car, takes 30 seconds on this. It's really fast and a good feature for that. Now, as far as I can tell, that's about the only good thing to this, that and gauges. So I wanted to do some spark tuning before. Now, on a computer, you can grab multiple cells and do multiple changes, and you could smooth things over and stuff like that. Here, if I go into edit table, so this is just a timetable that's in here. If I want to edit multiple cells, I don't have that option. I click on one and you have to individually change each cell. So if you had a lot of cells to change in your fuel table, in your ignition table, you're going to be sitting for a very long time doing that. So that's something that I think Holley would need to work on, where you could just kind of select, make a giant square, and then have the ability to, smooth out whatever modifications you've done. You really don't have that here. And unless there's a feature that I haven't found yet, it's you can go into this one where you can kind of edit the line and drag, but it's really kind of sketchy to do, and I personally like using the cells. I find it's a lot more accurate. So that's my take on it. I'm not 100% sold on this. For the price it cost me to get it up here in Canada, it was close to $400, and I really don't think that it was worth the money for me. There's some cool features to it, but really, it depends on what you're going after. So that being said, I wanted to show you guys the difference of tune you're getting versus the laptop. So obviously this is my Surface, my Windows Surface. I picked this thing up for 150 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. I bought the cable. Cable was like $30 on Amazon. So the difference between the tunes is astronomical. So for fun, the other day, I ran through the wizard and I put in a tune into my car just to see what it would look like as it came out. Like, this is my tune that I've done. I've pretty much got it all dialed in. You know, this is my fuel table. This is what my spark table looks like. And I like it because I have more control over individual cells. So this is what's currently in the car. And as you can see, we got minus 14 PSI to 0, and then 16 PSI to 0. So my timing table and vacuum and boost. And it's a nice broad range. I really like it. So this is the tune that the Bluetooth wizard made for me. And if you're strictly relying on this tune and you don't ever plan on modifying it, I really wouldn't suggest it. I'd say it's a stepping stone at best, but if somebody was going to tell me that they were buying this thing, they were using the wizard, and they had planned on just driving this around forever, I'd say, think about that. Maybe try and do something else. So, okay, here we go. No. So this is the tune that was built by the wizard. Go into Spark. So as you can see, it's really not phenomenal. They basically, there's just plain numbers everywhere. There's no smoothness to the table. So everything up here is 18 degrees. Everything here is 36 degrees. And I built this tune was supposed to be built under the impression that my car is running boost. So my 0 PSI is down here on my old tune. And then my 15 is up here at the top. So I have this whole section where I can fine tune my timing. Here, I don't know if you can see, 0 is right here and 21 is right here. So you have about 4 blocks where the wizard has given you tuning in your boost. So there's not a lot, like, if you're never planning on buying a computer and you're planning on, doing a high horsepower application, but you don't really ever want to do tuning, I would not suggest using this piece of equipment for that, because I actually, for fun, tried to run this in the car and it was so unhappy. I even gave it a chance. I went up and down the road. I drove it for like at least a half an hour, and while I was driving, I constantly updated the fuel table, and I just couldn't actually get it to run nicely. Just absolutely based on whatever comes with this, whatever's in the box, get it fired up, do a wizard. I had such a hard time. Maybe NA is different, but anytime I would get into boost, I was getting backfiring, I was getting lean, I was getting rich. This thing bounced all over the place. It didn't matter how many times I reset the learn table. I played around with the target AFR ratios, and like the same thing here. It's just like massive blocks where there's no smoothness to it. There's not really a lot of wiggle room. Like, I don't even know if you guys can see this, but that's 0.6. So that's your wide open throttle. After 0.6, you jump up to 13.3, you jump up to 21.8. So, there's no tunability in there. It's basically you're relying on this steep graph. And this is what was the wizard gave me. And it's basically right there is your wide open throttle at 0 vacuum to essentially not quite full boost, but I'd say probably around, 15 to 18 PSI. That's not a pretty curve. So I guess I'll wrap it up. That'll be my take on this thing. Truth be told, I like the idea behind every now and then, you know, I'll be driving, it'll be hot, it'll be really hot out, and you know, the ECU will pull some fuel out, and I like the idea that I can just go boom, boom, you know, like just send it to that. Aside from that, I'm probably either going to send it back or sell it. I really didn't see the point of keeping it. It does not. From somebody who does his own tuning point of view, I don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't waste your money on it. I would spend money here first. And I mean, if you have the money to blow and you want to be able to have this kind of digital dash, great. You know, get like a Amazon tablet, throw that on there, get some double-sided tape, stick it on your car's dash. Away you go. You got a full set of gauges. But at the same time, I would not do any kind of real professional tuning through this. So yeah, that'll be my take on that. That's it. Definitely just get a laptop. I tried tuning with like the 3.5 in the past, and you're so limited. And the day I got a laptop was the day everything started running better. So I mean, it's scary to some, but you get used to it. Just tinker. It takes time. So thanks for tuning in. My next video, I haven't put one out in a while, but my next video is definitely going to be some other stuff. I wanted to share how I made my car very choppy. There's some isolating timing trick you can do, but also there's a downside to it because I felt like it was backfiring a pile. It sounds great on idle, but anyways, I'll go through that in another video. And also I recently bought one of those Bluetooth draggy modules that, you know, makes videos and does your 0 to 60, 60 to 100 times. So I've just been tinkering with that a little bit. So I'm going to do a review on that. And yeah, I guess that'll be it for today. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this review was helpful to you, whether you want to buy it or not, save your money or spend your money. This is just my take on it. So, you know, take it as you please. And that's about it. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time.